Hey guys, welcome to another video. So today I've just been running through a bit of incursions. I'm like 5k incursion thingy, don't know what you call incursion artifacts from the 6-star crystal, and so I was hoping for another one. But I thought I'd start off by showcasing this fight, which was a fight it was one of the early ones, maybe Zone 2 with Juggernaut, and he had the personal space node on. And it's one of the craziest things I've ever seen. I've never I've played this game a lot, and obviously as some of you have, but my Captain America wasn't as strong as his, and he doesn't have heal block or anything or any bits like that. But obviously I'd only taken 3 into the incursion party: Captain America, Mordo, and Korg. Korg obviously not very good attacker. Captain America, not bad, but not one of the best. And Mordo, who is a good defender, but no one really with heal block. So I sort of started this fight and I thought it was going quite well, and then he started to build up like 4 or 5 regenerations, and he wouldn't throw his special attack, so I would be there waiting for him to throw it, and he would regenerate his health. And I was sort of in this fight for 3 or 4 minutes, and I thought, I've had enough of this. So in the end, I thought I'll read the nodes, see what they are, see what's going on, and restart. And then so I kept going, and I kept thinking, oh, maybe this would, a bleed would work or anything, and in the end, nothing did work, and I thought, oh, I'm out of there. I'm not wasting my time with Captain America on that. I'll take the knockout. And then eventually, I got onto Mordo, and he was the next person. I thought, I'm not sure what to do. And then I got kind of lucky with the Soul Barb ability on his SP2. So a couple of times I kept getting it wrong, and then eventually you'll see in a second, I'll put his SP2, or he'll perform his SP2, and it does a lot of damage to him, due to him having those stacked regenerations. So this node did work in his favour. But it's one of those things where, like, I've seen Rich the Man talk about it, where it's the matchups of defender and nodes is crazy. Like, here you go, this is where he starts to, has all his health going because of the Soul Barb, and got kind of lucky with that. But what I was saying was, Rich the Man was talking about attackers and node combinations, where sometimes in incursions you can basically just get stuffed. There's nothing you can do. Like, there was nothing. If I'd had Korg, Captain America, and then Heimdall in there, none of those would have been able to deal with it, and he would have kept regenerating, and I would have died on the second zone. And if they were my best champs, what was I supposed to do? I couldn't stop his regeneration. Like, there was nothing I could do on that bit. So, obviously that's the way the cookie crumbles, and that's the way incursions is. But it is definitely a bit of a pain. So, as I said, I've ran through this. This is all my fights with Korg, Captain America, and Mordo. Today I've sort of ran through it where, with all the sort of spare champions I have, not my best, and to try and get these artifacts up. And you won't see it at the end of the video, but you'll see it now, or you'll see it, what I'm telling you, is that I'm currently on 53,996. So I need 4 incursion artifacts, but I have no champions left, so I have to wait for them to refresh. And instead of sort of paying for the revives, the units, I thought I may as well just wait. What's a 6-star champion? Like, I'm not in an absolute need for them. It's not, if it's a really good champion, Nick Fury, Gallon, someone like that, but then they're not in the basic pool. Nick Fury is, but Gallon's not. No one's going to take me over that edge to completing but to becoming Thronebreaker. So there is no real rush for me to get that open. So I thought I may as well wait for them to refresh and go again. I think one of the things I didn't know about incursions is that you can turn down the sector or turn it up. So if you've got, like, maybe a 7,000 rated Kitty Pryde, Nick Fury, and Hercules, 3 really good champions, and you're like, what, I definitely can take the higher sector, you're able to change your sector up, and that is quite good for getting your 6-star shards or your 5-star shards, or just for getting those incursion artifacts. So that is also a very good way of doing it, which is what I ended up doing with sort of a lot of my worst champions, is going, oh, I'll give it a go. But eventually you just come across some combinations, and there's really is nothing you can do, and it is a real pain. And I'm hoping to get this over and done with, because I do enjoy incursions, but once you're top 6 champions, top 9, depending on how big your account is, I guess. If you've got a massive account, then it doesn't really matter, you fight with anyone. But your top 6 or your top 9 go out, it's very much like, I've got to keep waiting, I've got to wait for that refresh, and that refresh is still really slow, which is a big shame. I feel like if they really want people to be playing it a lot, they should make it, instead of a 30-day top zone bonus refresh, it becomes a 15-day, and your champions can refresh every 3 days, your 6 stars, instead of maybe every 5 or 6 days, which is what it feels like. So I don't know. That's sort of my opinion on it, and interesting to see how it goes. There's a couple of times in these fights where I clearly wasn't concentrating. I was at work at the same time, so probably shouldn't have been playing, but thought I needed to get it done. And you can tell by the way I'm playing, like constantly getting hit by that group SP2, which is pretty easy to dex. The same with the Venom fight earlier, just letting him hit me, and then I went into this fight with Korg, and you'll see it in a minute. Korg basically got smashed by Scorpion. The power things, I just kept falling for them, and I could see them there, and I kept saying in my head, you know what, don't throw a special attack, you'll get smashed, you lose all your health, and then big bits of health come off. And I remember thinking, like, what am I doing? And then I did it right at the end as well, and I was thinking, I don't know what's going on there. But he's sort of down to half health, and I've left the Incursion as it is for a minute. I don't want to pay to